our plan was to finish the half strong and get the ball to start the second half, and so we deferred, and we deferred, and that was by choice, so that we knew we'd get the ball to start the second half. But giving up that late touchdown was tough, and being down 2 scores, we had to generate some more points, but giving up those plays at the end hurt.
Yeah, you come out in the second half and you spend 9 minutes on the field, your offense is moving the football, you get a field goal, you're back in the game, and bam, just like that, another mistake at the end of the quarter to kind of turn the momentum again.
Yeah, and those guys are tough. The running back's really good. It's hard to tackle. We could have played better, but some of you got to give them credit too. Really good players. They had a good plan on defense. Coach Freeman's a good coach, and we have to play better. And when you play a team like this, played them many times, you can't make mistakes. You got to be perfect, just because of disparity, in size and things like that. But we didn't play well enough, and we didn't coach well enough for today.
I know this is a strange question right now, but the scene at the end where your guys and their guys were arm in arm, does that put the game in perspective to what this rivalry is all about?
Well, we have great respect for them. Obviously with the great history between Notre Dame and Navy. Ultimately, it's a football game. College football is big business, and it's but at the end, it's just 2 schools that with the great history amongst themselves between the two, and at the end, that's exhibited by the camaraderie at the end.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Go ahead. All right, Coach, why don't you just tell us your thoughts on the game in general? I thought the defense gave a good effort and gave you a chance, but the offense was just unable to produce more than the 2 field goals.
Yeah, we're able to, we've got to get more stuff on offense. I think, the plays at the end hurt us, the long plays. We feel like we're in good shape, but we gave up, some big plays at the end of the half defensively. And I think those are backbreakers because, like you said, we're playing really well. But then you give up, those 2 scores late, thinking that maybe you're coming at halftime 3-3, but then you come back and you're down, 2 scores. So, we got to be perfect. Like you said, I thought we did a lot of good things, but those 2 scores at the end hurt us, and we got to play better on offense. And yeah.
Can you update us on Ty?
I haven't talked to the trainers yet, so I'll go in there after Kareem and see how he's doing.
Can you talk about not being able to finish again? You were at the 14-yard line. That Umberger reverse got you in deep, and you're at the 14, and then 30 negative yards on in that first play, first possession.
Yeah, it killed us. It killed us. We got to be able to finish, especially against a good team like that, and that hurt us.
Can you take us through the 70-yard touchdown? It seemed like there's some confusion on the coverage. I don't know if the cornerback was supposed to carry him or if the safety should have been. I think it was Jamal back there that was supposed to be over, but just curious how that kind of happens.
Actually, I think they came back to it because I think the play before, number 1 on the boundary was open. To have a half-field safety, he's got to get there, and that, that shouldn't happen. It's 3rd and forever. And that was a backbreaker.
So in the second half, when you got down there deep, I think you were at the 6-yard line, and you faced a 4th down. Did you think about going for it there, or did you feel like you had to get some points?
I feel like we're only down 11 now. You're only down 11. So I feel like, let's get the points, 17-6. And my thoughts were if we scored again, I was going to go to 2. It's a 2-possession game. And if you come away with nothing, then it's good. But my thoughts were go 17-6, you're down 11. If we score again, I was going to go for 2, make it a 2-possession game, or, be down by 3. And like you said, I thought our defense was playing really well. I think towards the end they just wore down. They couldn't run the ball in the first half, and that second half, we had a hard time tackling that kid. And obviously he's a really good back, but I think a lot of it is just getting worn down. We had the long drive to start the second half, but you need more than 3 points. You got to score. And so against a team like that, that's a backbreaker.
So I was going to say, against a team like that, you got to come away with touchdowns.
Yeah, and so I was hoping we're trying to score, and there was the thought, Wags, of maybe trying to get the 7, But just looking, we ate up so much of the clock. Coming away with nothing, I thought would have been a backbreaker for us. And so,
We got the ball back.
yeah.
We got the ball back to
Did we?
11.
Yeah.
Then we had the safety. They punted it at the 1 and had the safety.
Yeah, so that was, that was a tough one, get the ball at the 1 yard line. Hopefully, I mean, that was a backbreaker too, getting the ball on the 1.
It looked like Xavier came up the line of scrimmage and changed the play there, or did if he went with a pitch to Mike Maui, was that, did
Yeah,
he change the play?
Yeah, change the play, but like I said, we're hopefully that we have to field the ball, first of all, so you don't get the ball, we didn't field the ball. And,
Right.
that's, we've got to field the ball. But, our pitch relationship was a little bit off on that. And, it was tough. That was like Scott said, that was tough. That safety was a killer too. Obviously that was a backbreaker. But hopefully you don't get the ball on the 1. And we could have hopefully fielded that or at least get under 10. But, getting the ball on the 1 wasn't very good for us.
Was this one that just kind of felt like more self-inflicted mistakes, between like a pitch here and a couple sacks and a couple
Long
penalties?
play here, there.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it, and some of it were good. They did a really good job, and we had to be perfect. They're switching defenses, which, a lot of people do to us, and we just got to get in the right play. And so we were struggling a little bit with that.
Right, they were playing like an odd front on the first few downs and then switching to even or vice versa?
Yeah, they're just switching back and forth from a 50 to an 8-man front. And so the 50 was new. That wasn't what he's done in the past. He's normally been an 8-man front guy. But we've seen all of it. It's not like the defenses are new, but we had a hard time executing. And against a team like that, you can't miss. Sometimes so-and-so thought it was this or that. And, we got to be able to run the right play, go to the right people, and get it executed against a team like that. You can't miss, and you got to be on point. And from my standpoint, from a play calling standpoint, I didn't give us enough opportunities to, get us in better plays, and then we got to execute.
I thought one guy that was a real difference maker was 44, the big defensive tackle, 300-pounder. He was in the backfield a lot. He finished with 10 tackles. Did you feel he was a disruptive force?
Yeah, up front, they did a hard. We struggled inside a little bit. I thought Isaac had some decent plays, but we struggled inside and getting moving.
Yeah, well, all week since Monday, I was told that, both of us were going to play this week. So I've been ready to go since Monday. I've been ready to go every time, no matter what the scenario is, whether, someone tells me I'm going or I'm not going. I'm always have the mindset that, I could be put in the game and I got to help this team win. So I was ready to go for the moment just to, one play at a time, march the team, down the field, put some points up on the board. So it wasn't too much of a shocker. Or, I wasn't stunned or star-struck by the moment or anything like that. I prepared myself all week mentally, physically, so I was ready.
So in the first drive of the second half, you were facing a third down and you delivered a really late pitch. You waited the last possible minute, but you got it off the chance and you gained 18 yards, and that seemed like a real spark that got you down into the red zone.
Yeah, so, especially teams like Notre Dame, talented teams, you got to be savvy in this offense. I came off the edge. And there was a huge gap there, but I knew that corner was going to fold in eventually. So I baited him in and got out to the perimeter. There's no one left there. So that's stuff we see that we've noticed from last week. That's what film's for, right? So last week we had the same opportunity, but we missed it. This week I said, I'm going to push in, dip and dot, get the ball in the perimeter, pick up some yards. So I'm glad I saw that on film this week and was able to execute it this week.
What stood out about their D? It didn't seem like they were just physically dominating today, but it seemed like a mistake here. Every time you guys got rolling a little bit, it seemed like you kind of, shoot yourself in the foot a little bit.
Yeah, we knew they were going to be real good defense, but we've played, 4 top 25 teams, 2 top 10 teams, so, it's nothing new, but you can't shoot yourself in the foot against any team, but especially teams like this, being first and down, moving the ball, and then offside penalty, now you're behind the sticks, and our offense is not built to, play from behind the stick. So it already puts us at a disadvantage. We got to clean that stuff up. If we can, we'll be a lot better.
Can you talk about not being able to finish the red zone? It's kind of been an issue all season, and against a team like this, which is going to score points, the field goals. It's almost like You know, you're at the 14-yard line, field goal. At the 6-yard line, field goal. Is it, you know, tough when you don't finish with touchdowns?
Yeah, of course. We got to be a touchdown team, especially in our conference. You know, we play a lot of really talented teams, and our defense has been playing their butts off. You know, but eventually, you know, going against these high-powered offenses, they're bound to score some touchdowns. But you know, that's why we have to score touchdowns too, especially if we're going to eat so much clock. We have to finish with touchdowns. So I mean, we never, you know, go into practice say, you know, we're going to get this field goal. You know, we're always going for touchdowns. We just got to, you know, find the film where we're shooting ourselves in the foot and do a better job executing it.
Yeah. Just a couple of missed assignments, and those ended up, you know, we have a small margin of error, and you can't let those things happen. So.
Can you take me through the big sack?
Yeah, we basically called 2 blitzes off the side, and whoever was inside of me did a really good job of sealing the tackle and was able to come off and make a play on the quarterback.
So what makes that running back so tough to stop? I mean, he's like the one touchdown run, he darted, ducked, spun. I mean, it's like hard to get a hand on him.
He's a pretty good playmaker. The thing about him that makes him who he is just the overall patience he plays with. He's very patient in the back to a point where, you know, you're waiting for this to happen, you're expecting it to happen, then he can totally flip field, and I think that's kind of what his deal is, kind of what makes him the electric player that he is. But yeah, he's definitely somebody that you got to contain in space, and on other times we did that, and then sometimes we didn't, and he did a good job of executing when it wasn't.
What was the conversation at halftime? You know, you guys were that close to, you know, going in there and tied 3-3. You know, a couple of big plays like we were just kind of talking about, kind of get away with you. But were you guys still feeling pretty good at that point?
Yeah, well, right before the 3-3, they had a little drive, got it down 10-3. We were still in. We knew we had a couple plays on that drive that were messed up, but overall our faith wasn't shaken at all. And then on that last drive, you know, that's on us. We had Jamal Glenn back there. He hadn't been there for a while, and they were just able to coast it over top on a busted play. So it was just finding the open man on that play with the coverage being busted. And yeah, it's really everybody's fault to blame out there. You know, pressure could have been a little bit better, and then overall it could have been helping with the calls a little bit better. So that couldn't have happened. But yeah, that was definitely a momentum shift. Obviously not the way you want something to go, but how it happened.
What do you guys focus on going into this bye week? I mean, you got to regroup and come back. You had a home game against East Carolina, you know, and you got to come back with a win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think this, you know, it sucks losing. You know, if you're a competitor, it's not something you want to do very often. But we just got to keep pushing forward. You know, we can still go 5-7, still end it on a positive note. We got really 3 good football teams coming up next. You know, East Carolina's done a lot of good things. Temple's done a lot of good things, and then Army. You know, that's a huge game in itself. So there's still a lot to play for. Whether, you know, the top 25 teams that we played are ruled out or any of that thing. But yeah, we still got a lot to play. We're gonna focus on resting up a little bit, getting back and a couple players healthy, and then we'll be full go against East Carolina.